Hello and welcome to VB411, out of the studio. I'm your host, Ms. Information, the know-it-all in City Hall, here to bring truth and clarity to misconception and rumors. Today's topic, one of the most important services that the city provides, 911. Just how does it work? Well, 24 hours a day, every day of the year, our police, fire, and emergency medical services professionals provide public safety services to our residents and visitors. In 2017, our emergency telecommunicators received over 543,000 calls for service. That adds up to about almost 1,500 every day. The operators collect the information and get it to the proper people to respond, much like the fire truck that just left this station. And it all begins with a phone call. That got me wondering, just how exactly does the 911 system work, and how do our telecommunicators help guide callers through what could be the worst day of their lives and stay calm? For that answer, let's head over to our Emergency Communications and Citizen Services Center, which handles our 911 calls. We called ahead to meet with Matt Berg, a Senior Operations Supervisor and a 15-year employee of ECCS. Hi, Matt.
Hello.
Thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us today.
Not a problem.
So, tell me about the 911 service. A call comes in, then what?
So after a 911 call comes in, the call taker is going to gather some information, enter a case into our computer-aided dispatch system, which is actually behind me, and then it's going to ship that call to the appropriate dispatcher or dispatchers for someone to respond out.
Okay, great. So what type of information do you need to pass on to our first responders? So let's say for a car accident, what types of questions can callers expect?
For a car accident, what we're looking for is obviously the location, which is our most important piece of information. For every call, we're going to verify the location, which sometimes causes people a little bit of panic or causes them to be a little upset because we're asking for something we just got from them. However, we have to be 100% right on the address, so that's a very important piece of what we do. We're also going to ask for vehicle descriptions, whether anyone is injured, items like that, to gather information to make sure that we send the appropriate response. And that usually takes about a minute for us to get the appropriate information, get a case entered, and then the case will be shipped out to the street. So the whole process might take about 3 minutes sometimes.
Okay. And what type of training do you all do to prepare our operators to work in the 911 center?
So we have a 10-week academy. And in the academy, they're learning many different things. They're learning our phone system, radio system. They're learning the computer dispatch system I talked about a second ago. After that, they're going to come up onto the floor. They're going to sit with a trainer, one of our telecommunicators that's taking that extra step to be a trainer, and they're going to get on-the-job training so that they can learn how to process calls in a real environment with someone who's very experienced doing that.
Okay, and I know that you can help me with a question that we get on social media, and that is, why do I sometimes get put on hold immediately when I call 911?
So if we go back to the accident that you mentioned, normally when people call in for an accident, they are not the only person who is calling. Unfortunately, the larger the incident, the more calls that we get. So if it's an accident, say on Independence Boulevard at Virginia Beach Boulevard, you might get 5, 10, 15 people all calling about the exact same accident.
Okay. And so we know that most of your calls are emergencies, but what about the accidental calls that you receive?
So for accidental calls, what we ask is that you stay on the phone with us and do not hang up. Nationally, about a third of cell phone calls are misdials. So it's very important that we keep you on the line so we don't have to then call back and do additional work trying to get a hold of you. The other thing to remember is if you're not sure what to call and you don't think it's an emergency, to please call the non-emergency number, which is 757-385-5000.
And if someone would like to become a 911 operator, where would they go for more information?
There are 2 sites. It's going to be vbgov.com/VB911 for our recruiting, and then vbgov.com/careers, and you can actually set up a job alert to notify you whenever we have a job opening.
That's great. Thanks again so much for spending some time with us.
Not a problem.
And now, you're in the know. Is there a topic that you'd like to see us cover on the show? Just feel free to email me at misinfo@vbgov.com. See you next time.